I think practically speaking too, we probably have to be pickier about teachers because most teachers aren't good. So how are you going to go into a private school or a public school and get a good quality education if the teachers are no good?
Yeah, well,
And I don't even think that's a training problem.
It's also because like as we pointed out earlier, is it education or is it child warehousing?
Yeah.
And the answer is mostly it's child warehousing. And then you might say, well, who are the students who are most likely to become teachers? And it's not like they're picking the cream of the crop. Why? Because they actually don't care.
You do. You come across some good teachers and then you remember them
Yeah,
forever.
that's for sure.
But I can remember like 2. Yep, 2. Which is better than 0, I guess. None throughout my university days, which was pretty sad, but that's part of the reason we made Peterson Academy.
Where they're all great.
Yeah, but we went through, I mean, it's tricky to find good teachers. We went through thousands and thousands, seriously, of professors, and we're like, these are the good guys. And our math teacher, because in calculus, I had this problem. I was like, why do I need to know these equations?
Yeah.
And he's like, it doesn't matter, memorize them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you don't even know how they came up with these. If I knew how they came up with the equation and understood it to the basic level, I could remember it. Otherwise, I'm just memorizing it, and I'm going to forget it after the exam.
The people who teach that way are people who learned what they learned by memorizing it. They think that's how you learn things.
As soon as you remember something else, you forget the last thing.
Yeah.
Which is useless.
Yeah.
But our professor, the math guy, I'm so impressed with. He explains why. I was like, we need someone to explain why you need trigonometry. Because why do you need it?
I couldn't really do statistics till I understood why everything was structured in the manner that it was structured. I needed to know why.
And did you learn that on your own?
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. So for my statistics, this was year 1 university, which was a health nightmare, and I skipped everything. And on the final exam, I was cramming, and so I learned everything myself from the textbook. I got an A. I ended up with a D in the course, and I was like, should have done that at the beginning of the course instead of at the end of the course because I aced the final. That was my statistics experience, but I had to Google everything. I used like Khan Academy and things to really learn. Yeah.
There's a great book called A History of Statistical Thought that unfortunately can't remember the name of the author, but that was extremely useful. But yeah, it's hard to find a good teacher, and a good teacher has to, well, a really great teacher, yeah, fair enough. A great teacher acts out a moral commitment to the topic. You know, a huge part of what you're doing as a teacher isn't imparting information. Books do that more effectively. What you're doing as a teacher often is setting the motivational frame and dramatizing the process of being engaged with the material.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's a lecture theater, right? You're acting out a commitment to the enterprise, and you're dramatizing that. You're saying, look, this grips me. This is important. It's vital. Here's why.
This will change your life.
This will change your life. Yeah. This will change your life. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Protect you from the pit and orient you upward.
Yeah.
And you better get that right, because the pit is deep. Right. So pay attention, or else. Right. Well, and then people think, oh, maybe there's something here.
Yeah. And that can be any topic if you get somebody passionate about it.
It is. Well, every phenomenon means, it's from phanesthai, it means to shine forth. So every phenomenon is a worthy target of inquiry. And some will grip you and some won't. And what they're doing when they grip you is shining forth. That's the world manifesting itself in accordance with your interest. And so something will grip you, right? It'll shine forth. That's what happens when you find someone attractive, for example, or something strikes you as beautiful or interesting. So that's the shining forth. So what that shining forth is the deep reality underneath your surface perception, making itself known, glimmering. And then that's what the burning bush is in the Moses story. And then if you pay attention to that phenomenon and you investigate it deeply, you go down the rabbit hole to the bottom of all things, and you see where everything's connected. That's where the animating spirit of the world resides. So that's what happens when Moses steps off the beaten path to investigate the burning bush, which is like the living phenomenon. He concentrates intensely until he gets to the bottom of something. And when he gets to the bottom of something, that transforms him into a leader. Now he can speak truth to power. Now he can free the slaves from their what? Complacency and irresponsibility. And now he can specify the promised land. That's what you're doing when you're gripped by a topic. And the grip is the revelation of a deeper reality beyond the surface appearance. And that's what you're trying to convey to your students. It's like most of what you see in the world is the facade of your assumption and ignorance. There's something deep there. And if you could only see it, and if you made contact with it, then it would change you and everything else. That's right. That's how the world is structured.